My name is Monica Simpson, and I am the Executive Director of Sister Song, the National Women of Color Reproductive Justice Collective, and we are also the anchor organization for Trust Black Women. Sister Song, along with 9 other reproductive justice organizations, created Trust Black Women in 2010 as a direct response to racist and sexist attacks on our reproductive lives, and the work continues. We have always known it to be true that when Black women have safe space to connect and share our stories, our collective voice becomes stronger. We also know that topics like sex, abortion, and infertility can no longer be taboo. What you are about to see are reenactments of Black women's real stories about their reproductive lives. We can make this a story that's more powerful. Trust Black women.
Okay, so here's the thing. The only talk I had with my mom when I was going away to college, I was leaving at 17. My mom told me, if you get pregnant, you don't have to marry him. And that was that.
My parents, well, their generation didn't even talk about sex. My mom gave me a book called A Doctor Talks to 9 to 11-year-olds. She just flung it on the bed and didn't even say a word.
Well, I learned most of the reproductive health stuff in school. I had a great health teacher. She taught us how to chart our cycles and everything. Psh, I still do it. But the other stuff, like all that heavy stuff and emotional stuff and consent stuff and all those things, nobody gave me any of those tools. And I'm 29 years old now and still trying to navigate that stuff.
The school I went to used to pull all the girls aside and have them make vows of chastity.
Yep. I was so thankful for my health teacher. I'm sure a lot of the stuff she did in that classroom, she was not supposed to do. I would bet money she was not supposed to teach us how to use a condom on a banana, but she did it anyway.
Damn, I don't want this to be my kid's experience. I want her to know her body. I want to talk about orgasms. I want to tell her how exciting sex can be when she finds the right situation. And I want her to not look at sex as being a bad thing.
If you get pregnant, your whole household changes. His doesn't. And even if you decide to keep the baby, you get looked at sideways because you get judged and you get talked about for being another Black woman without a baby daddy. That's why the times when I haven't used protection, I've used Plan B. But it's just like the most embarrassing thing. You have to go into the store and then it's not on the shelf. And then you have to ask them for it. It's just like so shaming and embarrassing to be pregnant. And then they make wanting to protect yourself from not being pregnant also embarrassing.
Like my cousin is hell-bent on not having kids. And where I'm from, in the country, she gets looked at funny. Even when she go to the doctor's office, she still gets the, so when are we starting? And she's like, we're not, ever.
If you're gonna be against abortion, then you need to also provide a way for families to thrive, like paying people more than $15 an hour. But here in Georgia, we have abstinence-based sex education, we don't wanna talk about birth control, and we have a 20-week abortion ban. Honestly, why do we hate on abortion when it's clear we don't wanna support women and families? Like, really? Abortion is legal. It's reproductive health care. It's our decision. It's our lives. Oh, and why don't we ever talk about vasectomies as birth control?
Sometimes it feels like damned if you want a family and damned if you don't. I have a lot of friends who've been trying to have a child, but we don't ever talk about those things. Ain't nobody supposed to know you can have no baby.
There's a lot I didn't know until I got pregnant. Like healthcare. Oh my gosh. If you don't have Medicaid, if you don't have insurance, if you don't have money, it's a struggle. And after I heard about this other Black woman who was about 42 weeks almost losing her life because her baby's heartbeat kept dropping and the hospital staff wouldn't listen to her, I was scared out of my mind. These days, I don't know whether to worry more about what world I'm bringing my child into or if I will even live to see them grow up.
That's what I felt like when I found out I was having my son. I was telling people, when you all shop for the baby shower, please don't buy hoodies. I just felt this anxiety, like, how am I going to keep him safe when he gets here?
It just always feels like we're trying to meet a standard that for whatever reason isn't working for us. Like, in thinking about Black family formation, what counts?
So are non-married committed people counted as single parents?
And what about Black families where there's a single parent, but they have a supportive community like a grandmother, great-grandmother, or auntie, or cousins, or even several cousins?
Also, not all Black families are made up of all Black members.
I know a Black family that was able to adopt. They had the financial means to adopt, but we also have to remember Black people been adopting children for years. You know, your cousins are raised by your grandma. It's just been outside of a system.
I know for me, I'm making the choice to just finish school first. I want to be emotionally stable, physically stable, financially stable, have the partner that I really want to be with before I start to have a family.
Black families have gone through a lot, and there's a lot of stereotypes. There are plenty of Black families that are thriving and doing well, whether they're single, two-parent households, foster families, same-sex couples, and trans parents raising kids. They're doing well, and they're raising really good children.
You know, we don't have to feed into these stereotypes. We can make this a story that's more powerful. Trust Black women.
2 years ago, Sister Song partnered with Black researchers at IBIS Reproductive Health and embarked on a journey. What started as a question, what are Black women's concerns about their reproductive health, transformed into a series of listening sessions with Southern Black women of various ages, body types, class backgrounds, and professions. What you just saw were reenactments of just some of the many stories we collected when we listened to Black women. In listening to their stories, we heard our own stories. Despite centuries of misinformation and oppression, we have always found what we needed to heal and to survive from one another. This research comes directly from Black women. This entire project from start to finish was led by Black women, which included state partners from Sister Song's National Trust Black Women Network, as well as Black academics, businesses, and organizations that were a part of our research board. Black women are the experts of our own lives. Trust Black women.
Trust Black women.
Trust Black women. Confía en las mujeres negras.
Trust Black women. Trust Black women.